to make it for the first time. This is a very irregular series from Homesteadin In The City. I'm April, and today we're going to make, or I'm going to make for the first time ever, a Moco Loco. And I saw this dish on Taste Made. I was watching one of their shows, and there was a chef from Hawaii who was making this. Apparently it is a Hawaiian comfort food. And I was talking to my very soon-to-be sister-in-law who's from the Philippines, and she says the Philippines has a very similar dish to the Moco Loco. And so what we're going to do is we're going to make a bed of rice, and then we're going to make some brown gravy, and we're going to grill up some hamburger patties, and I'm adding a little addition to the Moco Loco, my little spin. Instead of a big thick burger patty, we're going to do some smash burgers, and we're going to put some cheese in between it. Then we're going to top it off with a runny egg and some scallions. So let's get started with our Moco Loco. First we're going to put a cup, or 1 cup of rice. Yes, we're going to have 1 cup of rice for 2 cups of water. We're going to get our rice started. So while our rice is going, we're going to get started on the gravy. And for the gravy, start with our roux. We're going to drop in 6 tablespoons of butter. Oh yeah, and I want to do 1 tablespoon of butter in the rice, just because I think that'll be fun. We're going to whisk together 6 tablespoons of butter and 3.5 tablespoons of flour. I'll let the butter melt down. And this is something where don't want to let the flour burn. And I should have cut this up into some chunks, but I didn't, so here we are. We're going to let that melt down, and we're going to get our rice started. Now I also rinsed the rice beforehand because I like to remove some of that starch so it doesn't clump up quite as much. This will melt down quickly. I mean, where can you go wrong? Butter, flour. We're going to put some beef broth into here. It's actually beef broth that I just recently made the other day out of some beef rib bones and some other goodies. It's a way to make use of your scraps. Things you would throw away, you can turn it into a beautiful broth. I've turned the heat down a little bit. Now it's really going. And in this process, this is where we want to make sure we remove all of our lumps too. Make sure we don't have lumps from the flour. I'm going to drop in 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, or you can just call it W sauce. If you don't want to say it. And now that this is going, we're going to pour in 3 cups of beef broth or stock, whatever you have on hand. And now we're going to whisk all that together. Whisk, whisk, whisk. So we'll let our gravy go a while. Bring it to a low boil and allow it to thicken up. And I think while we're at it, I'm going to drop in a little bit of salt, not too much because the broth is pretty well seasoned, and we'll crack in a little bit of black pepper as well. Okay, now our rice is boiling. As you can see, I can turn the temperature down a bit. Make sure we're not sticking. And then I'm just going to cover it and let that simmer for a bit till all of our liquid is gone. And we have a rice. So there's a big similarity, it seems, between a lot of Hawaiian, Filipino food, and actually Southern food. Because, I mean, this contains a lot of what would be in a Southern dish. First of all, gravy. Second of all, rice. We tend to use potatoes a little more, but here in South Carolina we do have more rice because rice is one of the things that's grown here down in the low country. And so we are proud of our rice. So we love a good rice and gravy, but we love a good potato too. And then of course meat, gravy, rice, egg. I mean, it all just makes sense. And I guess to multitask, I'm gonna get ambitious here. As that's going, I'm gonna start heating up this cast iron skillet. And I'm gonna put just a little bit of vegetable oil just to get things cooking. Get my spice right there. And we're gonna get started on the burger patties, and they're not gonna take that long at all. Actually, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna switch these burners. I'm gonna let that one go there so I can get ready to do these burger patties while the gravy's still simmering and thickening, doing all that good stuff. I'm actually gonna taste it, see if we need to add anything. No, that's actually seasoned really good. If you have a good stock, you don't have to season the gravy quite as much. Okay, now I'm taking a 1/3 pound of hamburger meat. I just divided it in half, and we're gonna make 2 smash burgers out of it. I think I'm just gonna do one at a time. So then I'm gonna take half this teaspoon of Homestead In The City burger seasoning. I'm gonna put that on top. Now we're going to smash this burger down. If you have some sort of press, that would be a good time to use it. But if you don't, you do like me, and just press with a spoon. And give it a little flip, because it's gonna cook fast. That's what I like about smash burgers. They cook really quickly. Alright, while that one's finishing, check on this rice. I think our rice is ready. So, turn that burner off for a minute. And set the rice aside. One more flip over. Alright, we're going to set that one over. And now get our second one on here. Take the rest of the burger seasoning. Get that on there. I under-seasoned the other one, so that's fine. I didn't want to put it on too far ahead because I didn't want to dry out the burger meat with any of the salt that's in the seasoning because it is such a flat patty. So we're going to go ahead and smash that burger. Okay, we'll check on our gravy. Gravy's looking good. We'll let it keep thickening. Alright, let's give her a flip. Let that guy cook a bit. So what I'm going to do that's different from a traditional Loco Moco, or Moco Loco, sorry. What I'm going to do that's a little different than from the traditional Moco Loco is I'm going to add cheese, and I'm putting it between the two patties. Now this guy ought to be finished. Finished up and cooked through. We're going to place that on top of our cheese. Ugh, let me get it right. Make it pretty. Pretty-ish. Alright. Just gonna move the gravy there. Move the gravy back. We'll turn that burner off. Put that one on low. Now for our last little bit, we're going to heat up this pan real quick. I'm going to put a tiny bit of vegetable oil there. We'll do a little of that. Okay. Gravy's looking good. Oil is heating up. And actually, let's just go ahead and start building our plate. So I'm going to scoop on a generous helping of rice. This is the type of meal that if you've had a night of too much fun, this type of meal can help sop up some of that fun. So, little pro tip there. Alright, then we're going to take our patty with our cheese on it, put that on top. And then let me get a big spoon. So, while we're doing that, I'm going to drop this egg in. We're going to cover it. And that way it can be cooked through. So now I'm going to take some of this here gravy. By some, I mean a lot. Take the gravy, spoon it over. My gravy turned out a little loose. So I think I'll either cook it down longer next time or use less broth. we'll get an adjusted recipe for that. Maybe about 2.5 cups instead of 3. I think it's going to taste good regardless, so I'm not too terribly concerned. And I hear our egg. Ooh, look at that pretty egg. I'm gonna let it cook a little on top. But we're almost there. We're almost there. Excellent. Put that egg on top. Turn the burner off. Just gonna put a easy bit of salt on top of there. Then we're gonna top with some green onion. This came from my garden. So green onion from the garden. There, I'll turn that off. Set off the smoke alarm a few times. Okay, here's a Moco Loco. I'm gonna bust into it. Let that egg run down. Get a little bite here. Put my cheese, my meat, my rice. Let's see how it goes. That's pretty good. Yeah. I should work this into my weekly dinner rotation. I mean, what's not to love? Okay, so I rate with myself. I should have worked the gravy a little thicker, dialed back on the broth, so we'll adjust that in the recipes. But everything else, the seasoning, the way the egg was cooked, doing the patties with the cheese in the middle, I mean, I think that's pretty fantastic. So, a rather successful make it for the first time ever making this. I'm enjoying it. I love it. It's comfort food. I hope you can make yourself one too. And change it up. Add some onions, add some mushrooms, whatever you want to do. It's your kitchen. So, thanks for being with me for Make It for the First Time. We made it for the first time. We enjoy it. And we'll see you the next time we shoot one of these. So, check out Homesteadin In The City. All the other cool stuff that's going on, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.